program led by our local well-wishers. Patricia Njeri, the founder of the Birth and Beyond program, has been working to support these young mothers emotionally and maternally. Many of them have now learned baking skills which are helping to improve their livelihoods. Njeri is also appealing for support from well-wishers to expand the community training facility and reach even more young mothers.
You find that some of the young girls we work with are girls who have not been able to go back to school. So most of them are living in conditions where even getting an income or getting food on their table is a challenge. So normally what we train them on first is to give them skills for them to be able to live good livelihoods, where at least even as a young parent, they're able to know how do they circumvent the issue of parenting, being very young girls who are also still growing themselves. The other thing, in terms of empowerment, what we do now, we teach them life skills. So what I'll say is mostly life skills, because life skills are really important for them to be able to live proper lives and lives where they're able to thrive. When we say the other trainings that we are able to offer is things like baking. Currently, we started training on baking. We've had one team that we've already trained on, and currently we are in the process of recruiting the next team that we are going to be training from next month. But again, today we are also here because we are also training a few others on how to bake.
I teach them how they can use baking as a way to provide income for themselves. Like they can bake, sell the cakes, and they will be able to generate income for their family, for their families and for themselves. So far we have had, a lot of sessions, but I've only trained for 2 of them. And the previous one we did cakes, cupcakes and buns, and this time we have taught them how to do vanilla cake, chocolate cake, and also cupcakes and muffins.
Nilijoin Birth and Beyond last year. Na sasa mimi ni trainer wa kubake keki. Nilikuwa nataka kufanya course ya plumbing, lakini kwa sasa nitafanya baking juu nimeona iko perfect.
In Nairobi, a new restaurant is generating business and buzz, not just because of the food, but because of the staff. Robots serving dishes is the main attraction of diners who flock to the robot cafe.
It's lunchtime at the Robot Cafe in Nairobi's Kileleshwa suburb, and an unusual waitress is causing excitement.
Thank you, Nadia.
Nadia is one of 3 robot waitresses incorporated here to improve service delivery. This is a first in East Africa.
You assign them duties in the morning like normal waiters. You tell them which tables one particular robot is supposed to go or what is expected to do there. Because for instance, they do more than just survey. They sing happy birthday. For instance, let's say you do a reservation and you have a birthday. It's going to deliver you your cake with the message and everything, and also sing happy birthday with you with the background of waitresses.
Use of robotic technology in the food service industry is not new. Restaurants with robot waiters have opened in the United States, China, and other places. But the concept is new to Africa. Since opening in Nairobi 2 months ago, Robot Cafe staffers say the reception has been good, with the robots being the attraction for customers like Brooke Abito, who is here today with his family for lunch.
I was happy to show my kids this, in Africa, in your own backyard. So yeah, it was very good. You can see that the technology needs a bit of development, but it's really nice how the robots take the food, they come and serve you. And when I come back next time, I want to see the robots more interactive, taking your orders, bringing your food. But it's a very good first step.
According to government data, the hospitality industry is one of the big sources of employment in Kenya. The introduction of robots in the sector brings fears of people being driven out of work by machines. However, industry experts like Edith Ojuang say there is no cause for alarm, as the technology will just serve as a tool to improve efficiency and quality of service delivery.
I really don't think it can face off the entire human labor. But it will be incorporated still, just like we have incorporated the other technology, and we've used it to improve our human labor and worked together.
Ojwang's advice is for Kenyan schools to incorporate technology training into their hospitality curriculum in readiness for the shift.
If we keep training people the traditional way, and by the time they're released in the industry, technology has already gone a notch higher, it becomes scary for them already, and it becomes difficult to be able to adopt.
Experts say the era of automated restaurants has finally begun in Africa, and diners should expect more integration of robots in their dining experiences.
Pregnant adolescents in Kenya have been reported to experience challenges such as depression, anxiety and stress, with research showing that they face barriers to access mental health care. Rabbi Mondi spoke to the family of 16-year-old Anne, who are still mourning the death of their daughter, whom they say battled with depression through her pregnancy, and that her death would have been avoided if she spoke up.
Mamangu ni mzazi wake real. Sisi ni sister zake real kabisa. Tushaimsomea, tushaimfanyia anything wrong. Ameishi hivi for how long? Akaniambia msichana wenyewe kuna depression.
They say there is nothing like a mother's instinct about her child. This was the situation for Mama Anne, who says she could see a change in her 16-year-old daughter over the December 2023 holidays.
Nikamuuliza, na mbona naona matiti yako ni kubwa Anne? Kwani uko na mimba? Kaniambia mama, mimi sina mimba. Naona analala. Hiyo siku alitapika sana. Ana atakaendelea hivi mwili yake ikakuwa kama iko wiki.
She recalls the pain she felt to eventually accept that her teenage daughter was pregnant, despite efforts she made to avoid the eventuality.
Na nilikuwa namkataza, wewe ukimaliza shule mambo utaipata. Yaani ile uchungu niliongea kama mimi mzazi. Baadaye nikanyamaza. Maria akaniambia mama nyamaza, na hivi imeshafanya nini imeshakuwa.
And after the holidays and the family was back in Nairobi from their rural home in Kitui County, Anne asked her mother for permission to visit her boyfriend who had impregnated her. And even between hesitation, her biggest regret was letting her go.
Ni kama Anna alipata msichana ndani wa hiyo nyumba, ndio Anna wakati huyo alitoka kwa hiyo kijana ndio alimbadilisha mawazo yake ya akili. Kwa sababu Anna kabla hajaenda kwa hiyo kijana, hata wakati alikuwa hapa kwa nyumba hakuwa anafikiria, si ati alikuwa anakula vizuri, hata kama anatapika hakukuwa na ile mawazo. Lakini wakati alienda kwa hiyo nyumba hiyo kijana, ndio mawazo yake yalibadilika.
From this day, Mama Anne and Anne's sisters say she became distant, quiet and always looking confused, and never spoke to anyone. One evening, as they went to bed, Mary Mwende, Anne's elder sister, noticed that her sister was in labor-like pains.
Nikamlika. Ukweli, mimi nilisema ukweli kuna kitu inatoka. Juu niliona ni kama ni kichwa ya mtoto. Nikaambia mama, mam, mimba yani inatoka.
On rushing her to the nearest hospital, they were referred to Kenyatta National Hospital, where even though Anne delivered her son at 6 months, he died after a few hours, leaving her even more distressed.
Gynecologist akaniita akaniambia mtoto wa Anna ametoka, haizi rudishwa kwa tumbo, ameshatoka nje kabisa. So hawezi rudishwa kwa tumbo. Kitu nitafanya ni kubali wanipatie referral Kenyatta juu kwao wana mtoto mwenye anaweza kwa nini nasari yao waikangi mtoto wa 6 months kwa nasari. Akaniambia it's either one because chances ya huyo mtoto wake ilikuwa 5% survival. Daktari akatuambia mtoto Anna alifariki kwa sababu alikuwa na difficulty in breathing na alikuwa amemwambukiza anemia. Ndio maana hakuweza kumake.
And after the death of the son, Mary tells us that her sister was diagnosed with tuberculosis and died 3 days later.
Daktari akasema but sasa tutampatia dawa tuone vile itakuwa because TB imemkula sana, imemkula lungs na kidney zimekuliwa sana. That's why alikuwa anakaa sana kwa oxygen. Watchman alituambia vile mlienda tu hivi vile mama alitoka akaangalia kina mama vile alipoenda vile mama alipotelea akarudi kwa room. Aliporudi kwa room alilala vile analalanga akajifunika vile alikuwa anajifunika na akekelea hapa mikono. So yeye struggle kukufa
hivyo ndo alilala. Mmoja alinotice ni daktari wake usiku kumpatia dawa. Yeye ndo alijua Ann aliko.
The death of Ann left her mother and sisters wondering how hard the 6 months of pregnancy turned into a nightmare for their family.
Ani mimbi nimufanya akakuwa mchinga ongei. Ni nini ikafanya Anna ongei? Namuuliza Anna maswali. Anna, nini nimekufanya hata mpaka saa hiyo? Hutaki kuniongelesha na mimi masuni, niambie nini inakuuma kwa roho nijue. Anna asemi. Yaani Anna alikuwa na ile siri. Uwezi jua ni siri gani iko kwa roho yake.
So hiyo kitu ilikuwa inaniumiza sana. Juu ni sistangu, akuli, afanye anything, akona mimba, akona stress. No, nimejaribu everything kumuongelesha but it's not asaidiki.
According to reports by the Ministry of Health, Kenya has fewer than 500 mental health workers serving a population of over 50 million people. Community-based initiatives, especially by community health promoters, try to fill this gap for pregnant and parenting teenagers to deal with mental health issues.
Well, thank you, Robbie Omondi, for that story. And at this point, we come to the close of K24 Newscast Up. We have the latest sporting action in Jungula Sporty by Abdullah Ahmed. My name is Bentura Komboka and our sign language interpreter has been Margaret Inyambura. Do have yourself a good afternoon.